Hello and welcome to the podcast. You're listening to Hear Our Two Cents. My name is Allie.
And I'm Cammie.
And today we are going to talk about the evolution of friendships. Everyone has friends, or I hope, and if you don't, you have us. But today we're going to talk about the evolution of friendships and how it was when we were in our childhood having friends and how it is now being adults in our 30s. So we're going to do the whole how did we feel back then, how do we feel now, and then we're going to give you a little story time. We got one from Cammie. She's going to share her personal story time that we got on this topic. And then we got an AITA from Reddit. You know, we love our Reddit posts, and we're going to talk about friendships on that side. And we want to hear your 2 cents on this. So, Cammie, are you ready?
I'm ready. Kirby, you ready? He ready.
Okay, then. So, what was your childhood like when trying to make friends? Like, how did you go about that?
For me, making friends as a kid in elementary school, middle school, and high school was very easy. I just had a really bubbly personality, big personality. I was also very shy and reserved at the same time. So a lot of people say those two don't mix, but it did, and it worked. I had friends in all categories, from the cool kids to the nerdy kids. I put quotation marks because I consider myself a nerd, so it doesn't matter. I had friends who were the bad kids. I had friends in all different grades too. I had friends in, like, if I was in the fifth grade, I had friends in the fourth and third grade. So it rounded itself out. So for me, it was really easy. I just walked up to a person and be like, "Hi, my name is Cammie," and well, that's not my real name, but it's fine. Y'all don't need to know that. Meh. So I'll be like, "I'm Cammie." I'll be like, "What's your name? What do you like? Especially if we're in the same class, oh, we're gonna be friends." I knew everybody in my class. I knew a secret for almost everybody, or I knew something about everybody. And nobody really knew nothing about me, which was really funny. But yeah, it was easy. Just walk up to the person and tell them, like, "Hi, want to be your friend? Want to be friends?" Or we find out that we have similar interests, especially like I used to see people, and this goes back from elementary school days all the way into high school. If I saw somebody that I had a similar interest with, or someone who I was like, "Oh my goodness, he is so handsome," or "she's so pretty." If the boy I felt like already had a girlfriend, or I didn't want to date them because I really wasn't trying to date people. But if I saw somebody and they had something I wanted in refers to friendship, like, and I saw that we had common interests or we had a similar friendship, like with somebody else, you was gonna be my friend. I navigated my way to becoming your friend, and I've done it many times. I can't explain to nobody because then I'll be giving away my secrets. But for me, I used to navigate it. I used to pinpoint like how I'm gonna become this person's friend. I'm like, "Oh, you're friends with her or him? I'm gonna be your friend now. Yeah, we gonna get it. Oh, you like anime? Oh, we finna be friends. Oh, you like video games? We finna be friends. You like science? We friends. Bill Nye, the science guy." So, what about you?
So
Science
for me,
guy. Bill.
living where I was, it's very much a small town. So when I was in elementary and middle school, it's like everyone knew everyone's business. Like everyone dated each other too, which was really weird. Especially when you're in middle school, it was like, "Oh yeah, didn't you date so and so?" But I did kind of the same thing. If I saw someone with interests similar to mine, we hung out. And also, I hung out with just everybody, really, because I was friends with people who were in like the emo skater boy kind of era of their lives. And I was the jock or like the nerd, depending, because I kind of like you, Cammy, have a little bit of both. I was very much into sports, but then also I had my Yu-Gi-Oh cards on hand ready to throw down if we were gonna go and battle, you know? And I would literally battle kids. I would play, sports. I had a lot of guy friends growing up because I played more sports than anything else. And then as I got older, it kind of went more 50-50 or like kind of, I think now it's more shifted to girl. Guy friends, I have a few and I have more girlfriends, but my network of friends, I feel like is small in comparison to what other friends I've seen. Like they know every single buddy. And I'm like, I know people, but I feel like when you have that close network, it's different than like, "Hey, I know you," or "Hey, we hung out," or "Hey, we go out sometimes." Like, I don't know. But no, what I did was just kind of like you did. Everyone knew each other growing up. So you just kind of met people and you hung out and we were in a small country town, so there wasn't much to do. So we were outside playing, doing stupid stuff. And that's how we bonded. It was And then we all literally went into high school. There's only two high schools. And then we all went away, literally
Oh,
moved. I went to Miami after university, and, everyone else went out of our state.
oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That same thing happened in high school and sometimes middle school. Cause so like the people who I went to elementary school with, most of us went to the same middle school and a few of them disappeared from that middle school because it's either their parents moved or their parents didn't like the school. So they put them in another school, whatever the reason. Right.
Yeah.
And so then when it came to high school, I was thinking I was going to go to the same high school with my friends, but unbeknownst to me, my teachers had other plans. They were telling my mom, I'm sending her to a different high school. She's not going to that high school, which was nothing was wrong with the school. It's just they didn't want me in a better high school, which some of my friends actually went over there. Like the people who I was like best friends with at the time,
Yeah.
they went over there. And as you said, we just navigated our new surrounding areas and made new friends. So for
Yeah.
me, it was easy. I've never had a problem, never had a struggle making friends, honestly, that I can think of. The only thing is that for me on the back end, I had more guy friends than girlfriends because for me, I seen how girls react to each other or play around with each other, and the backbiting, the stabbing, I couldn't deal with it. So from
Yeah.
elementary school years, I made a decision as a kid from elementary school, and I'm talking about like third grade or second grade. I was like, I'm just gonna go hang out with the boys. Boys are fun. Boys tell the truth. Boys are going to be straightforward. Girls, they too wishy-washy and back and forth for me. And one minute I'm friends, next minute they're not friends with somebody, so you can't be friends with them. And this is elementary school. And then it kind of, you grow out of that as you get older, but some people never did. And it's just a mess. So I was just like, I'll have some girlfriends, enough that I can count on one hand and that resonate with my way of thinking. And then everybody else was boys.
Yeah, for guy friends it was so easy to like click with guys because I played sports, so it was just like we all either bonded on sports or I played video games. I was very much into PlayStation, still am, but I just don't have the time like when I was a kid. I was playing GameCube. Like I was playing anything and everything with people. Like after school, that's what we would do if I wasn't in sports. And I think that's why it made it easier to just kind of go and have guy friends because it was just we had similar interests. But then you look at some of the friends that are like my close like friends, and
Mm-hmm.
some of them are vastly different. I have friends like me and Hannah. If you looked at us side by side, girl is emo girl, right? Like in middle school, she was all emo girl, and I will say this to her face, and she knows it, and I know it, right? My Chemical Romance, Pierce the Veil, Blink 182. That was my best friend, and then you had me, who was like Beyonce, Rihanna, on this side. And I started learning more about like MCR. Like now I know the whole albums. I know a couple albums because of our friendships throughout the years. But like I would go to her concerts, like go to, My Chemical Romance and Blink 182, and I had so much fun. And then she would come over to Beyonce, it was just really good to like have those differences. I remember learning how to play guitar from one of my friends. So it's like having those differences in those friendships, I think is what make childhood friendships great, because I feel like as adults, we lose sight of like our differences can also be a strength in our relationships. It doesn't have to be
Exactly.
an immediate conflict. As a kid, you're just like, hey, you're cool. I like your vibe. Hey, you're cool. I like your vibe. Let's just hang out. Let's just see how this goes. And I think as an adult, we lose sight of that. We lose it, and we're so focused on what divides us instead of like, what are some things we have in common? What do you like that I like? What can you show me? And vice versa. But for me, that's how I made my friends. I just was talking. As you can tell, I talk a lot. So I'm going to wrap this up by saying that.
So, what about when you're now an adult? How do you resonate with making friends as an adult and keeping those friendships that you already had cultivated as a teenager into your adult life?
So I can count on my hand the relationships I have as a teenager that have carried me through adulthood. It's very small, and we drifted apart. Distance kind of was a thing. Everyone went their own different ways, and time was a thing. When we stopped communicating as often, it kind of naturally drifted, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know as an adult that a relationship is a two-way street. And I know personally, now that I live over here in Korea, I have to make the extra effort to contact people, to call people. Like me and you will talk either through memes, or I'll call you and say, "Hey, how you doing? You awake yet?" And you're like, "Oh, lady." you just woke me up. I'm like, so girl, what are we doing today? Or if I'm talking to Hannah or my parents or stuff like that, even though they're old and they don't know how to call me, so I have to call them. But
Don't call them
take
old. Just technology challenged.
yes, yes, they're boomers, guys. So for me, it's like as an adult, I have to recognize that I have to make the initiative to connect with people and make time to connect with people and not make life be so busy that I forget. There'll be times where I connect, but I'm not consistent with it, and I know that. Like I'll call you, be like, "Hey, how you doing? What's up? Are you doing good?" Da 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 da, and then it'll be like, "All right." 2 months later, I'll call you back about something or other, or it might be like 2 weeks later. Like I have to do a better job of doing that. Sometimes I've learned as an adult that it's okay for a friendship not to work out. That some people are only going to be in your life for like a season. They're not going to be there for the whole year, right? Maybe they're there for
Mm-hmm.
winter time. Maybe they're there for summer, but they're not year round friends. They're not lifelong friends. Like I know the core people in my life. There's core friends that I'm like, you're stuck with me. Like we like this now.
Forever.
Forever, forever, ever, forever, ever. And I mean that. Cammy's one of them. She knows. She's stuck.
Save me, somebody.
She's stuck, okay? Like, she's coming to the wedding whenever I find a man. If you guys know a man, let me know, because I don't know where they at. In Korea.
Same for the States.
Yeah. Worldwide problem. But no, for real, you have those connections and that are like a sisterhood or a bond that you're just like, these are my people. And some of those times, those people, you don't have to reach out every day. With Hannah, we don't call each other every day. We've been friends since middle school. But with newer friends, sometimes you got to have that to kind of feel a rhythm. But the people who have been in Korea with me and who have left, I
Mm-hmm.
want to stay in contact with them. And I'm having a challenge of doing that. But in my head, I'm like, I don't want to lose this connection because we were really good friends for a couple years here. And I want to make sure that we still stay connected, that we still like talk and hang out, like virtually, obviously. And
Mm-hmm.
if I'm coming to your country, you come back to Korea, you come back to the US, like I want to still have that friendship. I don't want to drop it because some of these people we went through a whole moving across the country together, and it's an experience that you can't like relate unless you've done it. But Kimmy,
Mm-hmm.
what about you? I think I talk too much. What about you when it comes to adult friendships? Like, how are you
For me, I'm
doing?
fortunate to like have the ease of still keeping most of my adult friendships from
Mm-hmm.
from childhood and adolescence and teenage years up until now. For the most part, I've had the same consistent group of diverse individuals. Like you said, you have friends who are different. They're not the same as you. I have friends who are similar to me, completely different, and somewhere in between where they're different, but we have some similarities, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
so
Of
all
course, of
my
course.
friends meet a different niche in my life, just like I meet a different niche in their life. That's why we are still friends. At first, it was hard to stay connected to some people, but again, I'm not the one that like calls and texts all the time. For the most part, we do communicate with memes. Like I have a group of friends on Instagram that we only send memes.
Irwin,
We
Irwin,
don't
I be
talk.
memeing. I be sending Irwin memes. Did you
Irvin
send
told
me?
me the other day, he was like, I think we're overdue for a chit chat, like with words. And I was like, you're right. Um, so there are some friends who consider me as low maintenance friend, and I don't know how to feel about that because that's a new term. Like for some people it's negative and some people it's positive. It just you know
Yeah.
who your friends are that you can call once a month or you have to check up on every week, or those people you have to check in with once every 6 months. You just pick up where you left off. So you have to know how to navigate with each individual. And I have a large group of best friends. Most of them are men, but everybody else is on the same wavelength. When we pick up, we pick up. If
Yeah.
you need me, call me, text me. If you need something, I'm there. You can lean on me. I will be there. Mariah Carey, Temptations.
Oh, I
So
thought you were gonna go lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be
I'll
your
be your
friend.
friend.
I'll
I'll help
help you
carry on for
for hey, it
it
won't be
won't be
long
long
till I'm
that I'm
gonna
gonna
need
need somebody
somebody to
to
lean
lean lean on.
We're probably not in sync at all, but
Yeah, we're probably not in sync. But who sings that song? Is it the Temptations?
No, girl, that's not a Temptations.
Commodores? Who is
No,
that?
that's not that.
Who
I
is
can tell you
it?
something. I know my Temptations.
I know you do.
Talking about
My girl. While Allie looks up who that is, I'm gonna continue, right? So for me, it's been easy and challenging at the same time. Like I said, those people who are my core friends, and within the core friends, my best friends. So I have my best friends, I have my close friends, and I also have my core friends, and I just have my associates. I know a lot of people, and Allie will tell you that I do. Sometimes we be going places when we're together, and they'd be like, I'd be like, hey, and then she's like, you know that person? I'm like, yeah, I knew them from high school. Or, hey, you know that person? Yeah, I used to work with that person. Or, hey, you know that person? Yeah, I know a friend of a friend of a friend that knows that person. And she'd be like, damn, small world, huh? And I'm like, yeah, something like that. So I know a few humans around the river bend, but the people who I'm really close to, they know my personality, and a lot of them are forgiven. Like I have one best friend, she's always checking up on me. Yazzie always texts me, always does a check-in, and I feel really bad about it. And I always express that to her. I said, I'm so sorry, I'm gonna try harder. And every year I say that, and I don't know if I'm trying harder. But it's really nice to have those friendships that are forgiven. I remember one time I had a friend that she was just very, very overbearing for me. And it felt like no matter what I did, no matter how much time I spent with her, no matter how much time I gave to her, it was just never enough. She always had this thought process that you couldn't have more than one best friend. And I beg to differ. I believe that you can have multiple best friends because there's multiple people that live in your life that fit different needs. Like you have that one friend that always goes to the movie with you. You have that one friend that always there for you, regardless if you want to repeat yourself a million times, they're going to listen. You have that one friend that's like, yo, we can just chill at the house. We ain't got to even say words. We just there watching anime. And then we just give that look when we see something like, did you see that? Oh my God. And then we just continue watching in silence. That's it. We don't even say anything. We just look at each other like, okay. So I was just looking at her like, I have multiple friends. I can have multiple friends. I can have multiple best friends. There's nothing in the Webster dictionary that's going to tell me otherwise, that I can't have multiple best friends. And she used to be like, I never met these people. I'm like, you're not going to meet them. Why would you need to meet them? You want me to have a best friend party?
Why
I'm like,
acting like she's your girl.
That's another thing. Like some of my best friends and some of even my coworkers, because I used to vent to them about it sometimes, and they're like, why it seem like y'all in a relationship? Is something going on? Is there more to the story, girl, that you're not telling? Girl, tell me, how you doing? I'm like, no, we're just friends. There's nothing going on. So there was just like, yeah, she's just very overbearing and very over involved. And it's like you are her only friend versus she being your only friend. And I was just like, yeah, we stopped being friends multiple times. And like the third time around, I was just like, yeah, I'm just done. I accept your apology. Hopefully you accept my apology for not being what you need me to be. But I have to call it quits. I've never been back and forth with somebody so much. Not even my ex can say they've broken up with me that many times and got back with me. Okay, you get 2 chances. You break up once, okay, we get over it, we get back together. After that 2 times, we're done. There's no more 3, 4, 5. And I felt like I've never been in a relationship that was so taxing mentally, emotionally, and physically that I was just like, what is really going on?
Like,
so if y'all in one of those type of friendships, leave it alone, man. Sometimes some people have to come out of your life. Like you said earlier, some people are just there for a season. Some people are there for a lesson. Some people are there for a moment. When God is trying to remove some people out your life, you got to let them go. Because other than that, it's going to get worse and worse and worse to a point where you just lose it. And before you get to the point where you lose it, where you can't take back words, it's just better just to say deuces. Because once the words have left your mouth, you can't take them back. You can apologize. But what you said still resonates. They still stand.
And for any of you that are wondering, when we said Allie was going to look up that song, it's Lean On Me by Bill Withers, okay?
Ah, Bill Withers. Nice.
Mr. Bill himself. All right?
Bill Withers.
You got a little jingle now?
Yeah. Da-na-na.
Bill Withers, lean on me. Oh man.
But yeah, I find it easy to navigate adult friendships as a sum. I mean, like, it does take work because everybody has their own schedule and day to day life. So
Yeah.
we all have to plan things out to make sure that we
Like
can
doctor
hang out
appointments.
physically. Exactly. You got to be like, yo, you free on July
Monday?
4th? Yeah, I got a couple hours there. I could see you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You want to go out for lunch? Yeah. Lunch? No. Let's get some tea and coffee and cake. Yeah, yeah. We could do that. We
Let's
could
do
do
a
that.
brunch.
Yeah. Sunday brunch? No, you got church? Okay, so lunch after church? Sure, okay, yeah, we could do that.
Yeah,
So for
like
me, it's all about scheduling. Like, I can't tell you how many times my friends them say, like, you're more busier than anybody else I know in my life. Like, I have the schedule, like, weeks in advance to hang out with you just one day in a month.
yeah.
I'm like, don't do me like that.
Like tomorrow I'm going to a chicken and beer festival. And
Ooh.
I was contacting one of my friends like, "Hey man, you want to come out?" And then I started inviting other people and I'm trying to like coordinate cuz we're all coming from different areas of Korea. And I'm like, "All right, so we're going to aim for this point at this time. I'll meet you at this time, and then I'll get you." And then we'll go.
Yeah. It be like that, and then you have to make sure that everybody's staying on time. Like, if no matter who I'm hanging out with, I always text them like a couple hours before, like, "Hey, we still on? We still
Yeah,
meeting
you
at the
do
same
that
time?"
confirmation text, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to
Unless
hit them
we
with the "Hey,
confirm
boo," but
unless we confirm like the day before, then I'm pretty sure like the day of I send a reminder text, not really
yeah,
confirmation, but I send out that like, "Hey, so I'm gonna probably leave around 2. I'll see you there." And if you respond with "K" or "Yeah, I'll see you then I think we're cool. You need to tell me if that's not the plan. If it's like
yeah.
things have changed, because I don't
Like,
know
I
your
gotta
mind.
do something, man. I forgot. I'm like,
So,
dude, be for real. We've been planning this for like weeks.
but yeah, I think the beauty of when you're friends as a kid, you have that immediate proximity to people, right? You have this big old group of people you can meet, you can mingle. It's easy to go right after school and hang out, right? Or it's easy to be on the same club. So as an adult, you need to be able to continue putting in that effort, like you said, but also being able to connect with people and realize that like they may be different than you and that's okay. They may be similar than you and that's okay. And just to have that good amount of respect for people's boundaries.
Oh,
Like in today's age where everyone wants something instant, right? Like you want a best friend right now. Well, you got to build that. There's a process to that. There's steps, and you can't have that instant best friend. You can have that instant best friend feeling where it's like you just click with someone, you're like, "Man, we just click." But to get to that point where, it's actually a friendship that you're like, this is a true friendship, it takes time. It's not going to be instant, and you gotta learn and respect people's boundaries. You can't push it. If someone says, "Hey, I'm not comfortable with this," then they're not comfortable. If you're being too clingy, then you're being too clingy. And you just have to have that open communication and be able to have that dialogue with people. With your
mm-hmm.
friend, she wasn't respecting your boundaries, and that sucks. You set a boundary, and she just thinks your boundary is non-existent.
Yeah.
uh, so But we have one last thing before we go. We want to do our AITA.
Let's go. Let's go down the rabbit hole.
AITA for telling my friend it's not my problem she married a useless man.
Wow.
Great title. I, 32 female, am a single mother of 2 kids. I am a single mother by choice. My kids are donor conceived. I am lucky enough to have a job, French teacher in a private school, and a paid off house, parents, life insurance, and inheritance.
Mm.
Before I had either of my kids, I made sure to have a year's living expenses saved. Then I would take a sabbatical to recover from birth as well as bond with my kids. While on sabbatical, I still tutored some kids for some extra income. So that's smart.
Yeah, that was really good of her. Nice planning.
Yep. My friend, 34 female, just had a baby 2 months ago. She is the breadwinner in her household, and her husband has been unemployed since being laid off during COVID. It was a
Wait, what?
great, yeah, during COVID. This was written a month ago, by the way. So a
What?
month ago being June 2024. So that's a lot of years. But anyways, it was great to be pregnant at the same time as well as having a friend with a newborn, but it has turned sour. She has been saying how jealous she is of me being able to take off a whole year from work, how she would have loved to not worry about losing their home, how she doesn't even have a couple $100 in her saving account, let alone a whole year's worth of living expenses. I usually ignore it or brush it off because I kind of can understand the stress she is under. Well, starting about 10 days ago, she started hinting at not being able to afford daycare, and any mention of her husband taking care of their kids is brushed off. Then she started remarking on how much free time I have, which I deflected by saying truthfully that being a single mom to a baby and a small kid left me no free time actually. Then last night, she came out with it and asked if I could do her a favor and watch her kids while she's at work. I was firm but polite when I said that I couldn't, that I am not capable of watching two kids under 6 months.
Wow, yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot. She started almost begging me, saying she can't afford daycare, and if she is not back at work, she will lose her job, and they will end up homeless. I again brought up her husband, and she said that he was not good with kids and isn't capable of taking care of her kid. I kept saying no.
It's his kid.
I kept saying no. She kept pushing until it escalated to her calling me heartless and me telling her that it's not my problem she chose to have a kid with a useless man. Now she blocked me. I am feeling very guilty about what I said and feeling like a-hole. What's your thoughts? Is she the a-hole?
No. First of all, where do I even begin? First of all, you telling me, unless something is physically or mentally wrong with the husband, he should be able to take care of his child while she goes and go work. And second of all, I don't even know what number I'm on. Maybe I'm on number 3. Next of all, he's home. He's still not working. There's so many online work jobs he could do. He could go work at Chick-fil-A, for goodness sakes. They pay well. You get 401k, you get health insurance, and you get food for free. Like, what you want? You bring home dinner. I'm being frank. Like, you telling me, okay, he doesn't work, you work a lot, so you telling me you can't get government assistance, you can't get an affordable daycare? Like, where are you don't have any other family members that could watch your child, like a grandparent or something? Because at the end of the day, it's still on the husband. Why can't the husband watch his own child? He's not working. You are the breadwinner. So, like, what's wrong with him? It makes me feel like he got some type of mental situation. Like, maybe he has schizophrenia. I don't want to self-diagnose people, but there's got to be a reason why she does not feel comfortable leaving the baby with him unattended.
Yeah.
So that needs to be addressed with her friend for her friend to understand. Like, say, for instance, the man has schizophrenia. You wouldn't want to live a baby with somebody who has schizophrenia. Not saying that people who have schizophrenia can't take care of their own children or, take their medications on time and make sure that they don't have an episode. Or maybe he has epilepsy. Maybe she's afraid to leave him with the baby. If it's something like those type of things, I could understand. But other than that, go hire a nanny, bro. And if you don't have money for that, go to the government and get some type of assistance so you can put the baby in daycare. There's multiple government programs that will put the baby there and say that the father's not there. And then they will help you get some type of assistance. It's not the friend's job to go watch her baby while she's watching her own baby and trying to work at the same time. And I think she's working, or she wasn't working anymore.
Well, she was on a sabbatical. The person, the OP.
Yeah, she needs to be focused on herself and the baby.
The friend has a kid under 6 months. You're gonna have you have a kid under 6 months. That's not like it's not like they can be independent. You're gonna be on those kids all the time, like watching them. When
And
you
it
have
doesn't
a
sound like she's gonna
5-year-old
pay her
and
either.
no, she's not. She's not gonna pay her.
So you want your
Um,
friend to stress out herself, overwork herself with 2 babies until you come off from work?
yeah,
Like, no. That's very, to me, that's very disrespectful. Your friend is on sabbatical because she planned it. She planned having her baby. She
yep,
knows that if baby takes a loss, so that's why she planned to have a sabbatical. That's why she saved her money so that she could take the time to bond with the baby, learn the baby, and also she has to take care of herself. When the baby sleep, you got to find a way to take a nap,
yeah,
with your
and she's
ears open and one eye open at the same time, just in case baby makes a noise or moves.
yeah, and another person on Reddit made a post here and they kind of agree with you. They said, unless the husband is bedbound or otherwise physically incapable of work or childcare, he needs to pull his finger out of his, we're not going to say that,
Butthole.
and step up to his, to, I don't want to get bleeped, guys. So
Step up
he
to the
needs,
plate.
yeah, he needs to pull his finger out of his butt and step up to parent his own child. And if she isn't going to make him, she needs to leave him and claim child support. Like, I don't get why. So he's just being a deadbeat dad if there's no actual reasoning. And you're being an enabler at this point of that
Yeah,
behavior.
because you're just like,
So,
he's just saying, I can't, I can't, I can't. Oh, the baby's too much. I can't. Like I said, if there's nothing physically or mentally wrong with this man, he needs to do his job. Be a stay at home dad, since that's what you want to do.
oh man. That was an interesting one. It makes me worried about
Having
relationships.
kids, like, I
Having
swear,
kids,
people are
you have to
crazy.
plan for kids in some sort of way, just a little
Yeah.
bit. No matter if you're with somebody or not with somebody. And I know things happen where you're like, "Oops, I'm pregnant." Yeah, I know those things happen, but you have 9 months to start planning, right? Like you need to have a plan, and like I understand it takes a village. And you know, the one thing I noticed with our current, like with us, with our generation of being millennials, I feel like we're starting to lose that village. You remember back in the day, you had a village. You had your
Mm.
godmother, your godfather, this, that, the third, the neighbor, the this, the that. I feel like we're slowly losing it. And I don't know if it's because of online and like having online connections is now like more important to people than like face to face connection sometimes. I don't know what it is, or if it's the fast culture that the US has, they're starting to have. I don't know.
It's a carrier of all of that, because a
Mm,
lot, like, you look at kids now, a lot of kids don't really go outside unless their parents grow them up to go outside. Now it's a thing
yeah.
now. Like, babies come out the wombs with phones and tablets in their hand. I see, like, 1 year olds who are like navigating the entire tablet to go watch Coco Melon and Blue's Clues and etc. And I'm just looking like, unlocking, they know how to unlock their parents' phone and they're under the age of 5. It's crazy. And I'm
Yeah.
just looking like, and you can't give them a fake phone. They will cry for the real one because they know the difference. They know the difference. And I'm just looking like, we're losing that personalized connection. And it's
Hmm.
only going to get worse until something breaks the mold, that we go back to what we were used to, where you used to have eyes on your friends, put your hands on somebody and hug them, have that skin to skin connection. Not just be like, oh, let me shoot you a text. How you doing? Let me do a FaceTime. How you doing? Let me send you a meme that says, how you doing?
Yeah.
Like, right? Like, there's so many memes that just say, hey, was thinking about you. Here's a hug. Wee! Or, hey, this person sent me to give you a hug. Wee! And I'm just like,
Or go give
unless
them
that
a hug.
person lives out of state or across the pond, there's no reason why I can't schedule time to put my hands on you.
And not like fighting, guys. She
Not
doesn't mean like
like
fighting.
like a hug, humans. Be for real. This is a family fun friendly. We're not talking about fighting nobody. I mean, y'all can fight me in the comments, but don't fight me in real life.
And
I'll
if
call the
you want to
police.
fight us in the comments, you can find us on your social media platforms. We are on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and we are at here, HEAR_hour2, and then sense. So if you need to find us, you know where to come find us and come talk with us. We love to talk and communicate with you guys. We appreciate you guys for listening to the podcast. We've been on here and we've been rocking it out. We're going to start doing different topics, so be on the lookout. I know we've been talking about anime. We know we've been talking about cartoons. We're going to start talking about more travel things. and just kind of having these random topics and seeing what everyone wants to talk about, really, and what we're interested in. So you might notice that we start to branch out.
And if you have a topic that you want us to dive deep in, that's not really super political or controversial, please drop them in the comments. We will be more than happy to do our research and give you some tidbits and our feedback on whatever the topic is, as long as it's not one of those.
And for everyone who is interested in my Korea journey and moving here, I've been starting to post a little bit more and show a little bit more about my life in Korea. And I want to thank you guys for engaging in the content and in the posts on our TikTok and on our Instagram. I really appreciate that. And if there's anything that I can do that you're interested in, just let me know. We are going to try, both of us are going to try and go on live a little bit more so we can do like Q&As and do like watching Cammy game. You'll see Cammy game and destroy people on live. And then, I'll come in with maybe if I'm going to like a festival or something in Korea, I might go live for like 15 minutes or so. So I will start arranging notifications when maybe I'm going to big events so you guys can be on the lookout when we go live. I just learned how to do that. Yes, I'm learning things.
Thank you so much for all of our new followers on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and YouTube. We're almost at 50 subbies on YouTube. So come on into the YouTube.
We're happy with that 50, man. It's so great to talk to you guys. I've been talking to people about Bridgerton. What else have we been talking about, Cammy?
Anime. Also, once we hit 50 on YouTube, we can physically go live on YouTube. So come on, give us some. Come on in. Come on down to the YouTube.
Come on over, baby.
Come on over, baby. Hey, girl and boy, we got something going on. It's called our 2 cents. Come on down to our
podcast and you'll have fun and all.
Yeah. So don't be shy. Come on over to us. We won't bite. Kirby might eat you, but we just wanna talk and chat with you.
So come on over. Come on over to YouTube. Come on over to YouTube or IG or Facebook if you really. Oh, I'm joking.
Don't forget our Twitter, which is called X.
Oh, yeah.
But anyways, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Sorry about the bad singing. We love you guys. And we'll see you next time on Here Are 2 Cents. Bye.
Bye.